In this story, it is told that years ago, there was a world below our world. Not ordinary, but a magical world. These worlds were connected to each other. One was the upper world, while the other was called the lower world. There was a king who ruled both the worlds with great ease, but he often thought things in his imagination. That is, he thought things that did not even exist in his thoughts in his own way, because he used to get happiness from such things. But then one day, the king was very sad, because of which he took a lot of trouble, and he could not rule both his worlds, because of which they started to separate from each other. Now the lower world, the magical world, also felt the pain of the king and began to settle inside, because of which a black shadow was born here. As it spread, it grew more and became a monster, whose name was Shroud. He then destroyed this world. Like himself, he turned this magical world into a black world and separated it from our world forever. After that, the story comes to the present time. Here a boy named Peter was going to a new house with his mom, dad, and sister. Here we noticed that Peter is always nervous, because he was very afraid of the things around him. The reason is also that he used to imagine even the smallest things a lot, which was the cause of his trouble. Poor Peter's sister, she was completely different from her brother, always happy and never bad, always thinking good, not at all in the imagination, but taking everything positively. Now these people start shifting things and living here. The next day, Peter's sister went to a general store while playing. Then he also goes behind her. In this store, there were very strange colored things lying around, which was also looking expensive. But in all this, Peter likes a puzzle cube very much. That is, a cube on which the puzzle had to be solved. Now that magic was a cube. This thing Peter does not know could not burn, and he bought it and brought it home. When Peter was going to sleep at night, his mom gives him a compass as a gift, which is actually to tell about the roads. His mom told that this was your grandfather's. She had said that gift this to Peter when he grows up a little. So now he comes to his room with this compass and starts solving the puzzle of that cube. In the meantime, his sister came here, who asks Peter for the puzzle cube, that you also give it to me and take some coins from me in return. She was about to take out that coin and give it to Peter. At that time, a coin falls down from the hole in the floor because that floor was made of wood. Now, as soon as Peter goes to pick up that coin, in that hole he sees a big eye of an animal, due to which he was very scared. He immediately moves back. Before he could understand anything, his room started breaking. Rifts began to appear on the walls, and the floor also starts breaking. And the next moment, all the stuff in the room also started flying in the air, even the bed on which his sister was sitting. And then their stuff and bed start falling down. By then, Peter had also jumped on the bed. Actually, a way had opened up to solve Peter's puzzle, due to which people had come down here, which was the same world as years ago. As soon as the bed fell in front, then a lot of strange creatures come here and dragged the bed and started taking them away from here. Actually, he was doing all this to save their lives, because the monster here was Shroud. He had found out that he was coming here, which could have come here to kill them at any time. Now, as soon as all these creatures bring them to another place, then they pass through the bridge and come across it. After doing this, they break this bridge, so that the monster does not follow them here. And now all the creatures bring them to a cave. The children were looking around very carefully. They were also very surprised that what is happening to us. That's when the head of the creature came here, which gets very angry by seeing them here, because he is a human being who is not free from any danger to be here. Hearing this, an old creature came in front, says that you don't get angry, and tells everyone that it is not a coincidence that Peter and his sister came here. But years ago, this prediction was made to the patient that these two children will come here, and Peter, who will be the king here, he will save this world and all of us from Shroud, and will fix this world as it was before, because the king who was here years ago, Peter, is his murderer. By telling this, the old creature brought them both inside the cave, and the prediction written on the wall shows where a drawing of Peter and his sister was made. In addition to this, there were many other pictures made there, which all the old creatures have shown. Tells about the past here. Used to rule over both the worlds years ago. Who were your elders? But due to sorrow, black psychic monster Shroud was born here, and this world was separated, because of which the clock kept here broke, which was the only time telling. And such a time stopped. Now, according to the prediction, Peter will have to start this clock again, for which Peter will have to find some more magical puzzle cubes and have to solve them. After which, he will get a key, and with his help, he will be able to run the clock. Due to which now, Peter and his sister also understand that if they want to get out of this world, then first, they will have to solve these puzzles. Now to find the next puzzle cube. The old creature gives a book to Peter, but this whole book was empty. The old creature tells that this is a magical book, due to which the educated creature here, who is actually a mechanic, he can also read. So now you have to go to that mechanic creature. After hearing this, Peter agreed to take him to him. The old creature's son was also going with him, whose name was Plank. But the coming head and Plank started arguing, because both did not trust each other. But after hearing their quarrel, Shroud came here. He attacks them, due to which they ran away. But Peter, his sister, and Plank fell down a lot, and now his FC had come out. They found out that we are lost. But then Plank gives the compass in Peter's hand, and says that this shows the way. Let's use it. Yes, now these people use it. And finally reach that mechanic, who was repairing a lot of wheeled machines at this time, which was a whole statue. These people ask for help from him, on which the mechanic had to say, "That I am busy now. You go and come back sometime." On which Plank says that my dad has sent me. Now after hearing this, the mechanic agreed to help him. He comes out immediately. He takes the puzzle from Peter. As soon as he puts it on the book, at that time lines are written on the book. Some pictures and maps are made. It was also written that where is the next puzzle? And at that time the way was also made. The mechanic's reacher tells that when you solve a puzzle, then where is the next puzzle? You will know that through this book. The whole way must have been written. After telling all this, he gives Peter a small device, which was a bulb device, and says that, Peter, you have to run this with your mind, with your imagination. But before that, the fear inside you, you have to get it out. You have to finish it completely, and you have to read this book carefully. That's why you will understand everything. Now at his behest, Peter closes his eyes. He takes out his fear and pays attention. He started reading the book, with which a puzzle comes there. Now Peter's eyes were closed, but in his imagination, as soon as the puzzle falls, Plink solves it, by which he found out that, to get the next puzzle, he has to go to the ground of a ruined building and stand up, where there is a very big eye in the sky. So now with the help of Plink, you reached that ruin, and there you stand on its ground, where a very big clock picture was made. Now, according to the clock, it was number 12, but he had to find the next number, because it is obvious that it is not in the clock. That is 13. She is looking around, but they do not get that number anywhere. But Peter still keeps looking for that number in the ruins, where after all, he gets 13 numbers in a very big picture, under which a lot of pictures of rats were made, and there was also a small button made there. As soon as Peter presses it, this wall started opening, which was actually a secret locker, in which Peter gets the next cube puzzle. With this, he was very happy. But because of the cube coming out, a very big dragon comes here, looking at which Peter got very scared. He quickly hides behind a pillar, but then he remembers something about the mechanic creature, that you are a king, and a king should be brave. He should be able to control his fear, recognizing his powers, should use it, thinking this Peter, now with a lot of courage, came in front of the dragon, and says to him that, look, I have a puzzle cube here, and I am the king here. Hearing this, the dragon bows in front of Peter. He bowed his head. He also apologizes. Please forgive me, I did not know. The dragon also tells that I can take any form. Hearing which Peter says, then it's okay. Take us to the next puzzle cube place, which is actually a temple made in the desert. So now the dragon changes his body a little and makes it of iron, which was the upper part of it, because he had made the seat for these three. And now, these three. Peter takes his sister and Plank, comes near that temple, where there were a lot of statues of the creatures here, which were all soldiers' creatures, and all were made of stone. Although earlier everyone was alive and was in good health, and the stones were made because of the attack of the Shroud. Now these people go inside the temple, where they find a two-headed tortoise, which was actually, there were two, but they were attached to each other. They knew that Peter is the king here. So they start talking to him, but he starts getting angry at them, that why are you saying so much? Don't waste my time, I have to find the puzzle. Now Peter's sister didn't like his behavior. She was stopping him from doing this, but these brothers and sisters had an argument about this. Then his sister gets angry and comes out of there. After that, Peter started looking at the temple, where there were a lot of pictures made. There were 4 or 5 stones on one wall, and some pictures were made on them too. Now the puzzle was in a code. According to those codes, Peter turns those stones by touching them. Now he turned all the stones like this, and he solved this puzzle. As soon as this happened, this wall started opening, because this was also a secret way, in which he gets the next puzzle cube. Now before this, he kept this cube on the book, to find out the next puzzle cube. he started hearing his sisters scream from outside. When he went to check outside, he sees that the army of Shroud has caught his sister and the dragon, which was a very big army, and all these were robot machines. The leader of the army tells Peter that quietly hand over this puzzle cube to us, but Peter clearly refused. That no. And anyway, my work is incomplete. I couldn't find all the puzzles. Now the leader got angry after hearing this refusal. That's why he started killing Peter, and by telling his people, he makes them attack him. Seeing this, the dragon also got very angry, and now with the help of his strength, he increases his size a lot, and now he started killing these soldiers. His size was so big that all these looked like children in front of him, and he kept crushing them like ants. And here they had a big fight. Then Peter uses his brain here, with the help of the device given by the mechanic. In a snap, he finishes this whole army. But during this fight, a soldier attacked Peter's sister, and because he was a soldier of Shroud, that's why now slowly his sister starts to turn into stone. And now there was only one way to fix his sister, and that was to defeat Shroud, for which these people, or have to run that clock again, which was closed years ago. And because now they had less time, so to find the next puzzle cube, they leave, which will be their last puzzle cube. And its location was on top of a mountain. That means it will be found there. When these people reached there, then the tortoise says that I have come here before, but I don't remember when, during which his sister started to get sick, because now she became more stone. Seeing this, Peter started to worry about her. He leaves the tortoise and the dragon, with his sister, and with the plane. He goes to find the puzzle cube. He comes inside and solves the puzzle, but when he goes to the puzzle place, seeing this, he was quite surprised that he is not there, because someone had already taken the puzzle cube from there. Seeing this, Peter felt very bad. He gets disappointed and comes out, where now his sister had completely turned into stone. Seeing which, he was very sad. He was also getting angry. That's why he throws the magic book given by the old creature down, because now he had lost faith in all this. He feels that I will not be able to do anything right. And now the tortoise remembers that when did I come here? He says, Peter, when I came here. So I took the last cube from there, so that he does not take the shroud. He is with me. Saying which, he gives the last cube to Peter, with which Peter was very happy, because now all the puzzle cubes had come. But he gets sad from this, that now we do not have a book, because he had thrown it down. He starts crying, that how big a stupidity he did. But then the dragon who could fly, he calms him down and goes down to find the book, which he found very soon, with which he comes back. With that, Peter keeps the book, with which he came to know that to run the clock, the key he would have needed. To get that, he will have to go to a tower, which is a clock tower. So now, even though Peter does not want, leaving his sister's idol there, he goes to the clock tower with the dragon. When he goes inside, he sees that there are a lot of big magic gloves. These were the places which were protecting the tower, and apart from the king, and did not let anyone go ahead. Now as soon as Peter and his companions started moving ahead, the gloves stopped them, on which the dragon says that you do not stop us, let us go, because Peter is the next king. The gloves say, okay, so this is the thing, okay, let's agree. But if Peter is the king, then he will have to show his powers. Now after hearing this, Peter even thought what to do, because apparently he did not have any special power. But there was a game with hands and fingers in which he was very skilled. So to play him, he challenges the gloves that now let's play the game, in which Peter won. And this time the gloves got very angry that why did we lose? And now he started attacking Peter, seeing which he remembered the same bulb device which the mechanic gave him. And the gloves said, I will not let you go, I will not let you go. Peter orders him to attack all of them and break them, destroy them. The bulb device does this. It attacks the gloves and breaks them. It broke into many pieces, and like this, everything is destroyed. After which, now, Peter, with the help of all the puzzle cubes, gets the key to the clock. But then the plane also changes and becomes a stone, by which Peter understood here, that shroud, there is no one else. In fact, there is a dragon, who for so long, to get the key, Peter's support was giving. Everywhere, his support was giving. And now Peter has become a stone, and now Peter was that shroud, but in the form of a dragon. And now, because his real thing came to the front, that's why he changes from the dragon and comes in the form of his real shroud monster. He had the strength to spread the body, with the help of whom he attacks Peter. And here he presents Peter's most surprising secret to the front. Actually, what was Peter's sister? It was not in reality, rather it was also Peter's imagination. The truth is that sometime before his sister, she died. He could not bear the pain. He could not believe his death. He started imagining her, because of which he started seeing her everywhere. By telling this, Shroud started attacking him. Actually, After his sister's death, Peter was living in shame that I did not do anything to save his life. I am of no use. And by taking advantage of his fear and shame, Shroud was trying to weaken him. But now he understands that I have now come to this world. So here my sister is not just my imagination, but I can revive her with magic, which after being alive, she will live in this world. So now he was very happy that I got another chance to revive his sister. So now he erases all his fears to save his sister and others. That's why he also orders his bulb device and attacks Shroud. And because his body was scattered, it started breaking and breaking. He is completely destroyed. And in this way, Shroud's death took place, by which today the darkness of this world was finally over. So now Peter turns on that clock and starts again. As the clock went on, this world got back to normal again. The light began to shine from here. Things started burning, and Peter's sister and the creatures of the garden, which were made of stone, also get back to normal. And now his sister becomes of this world. Peter was very happy to see her. Now, because Peter had a hand in fixing all this, so he is crowned with respect. But he takes off the crown and puts it on his sister by saying that if you are of this world, then you have a right on it. And now he came back to his world by saying goodbye to everyone, where his room, which was broken, also gets back to normal. After waking up from sleep, he tells all this to his dad. That is, what we saw from the beginning was his imagination. And in his imagination, the world below had become again, where his sister is alive, which he always wanted to see his sister alive. And now, he could only get it in his imagination. And here we also know that in the beginning, the king also imagined the world below and above. And now we see the world below in Peter's imagination, where the queen had now become his sister. And with this film ends here.